I'll make the motion that we go ahead and approve application 2020-43, taking into account the staff recommendations.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
it.
I'll take Mike as second this time. All of those in favor of S 2020-43 approval with the conditions of approval, please say aye.
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 S 2020-43 is approved, and Matt will be in touch with the applicant.
Okay, thank you very much, all
Thank
of you. Thank
See you,
you.
Bruce.
Thank you.
See ya.
Bye. All right, then we will go to application S 2020-30 for Tracy Kelly applying for a variance to set back the front yard. We're going to postpone this application due to lack of documents.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
We didn't receive the required documentation, basically stating that they're compliant with all property taxes, code enforcement, and the Revenue Commission.
Okay. Do we have to vote to postpone this, Charlie?
No, ma'am. You can,
Okay.
you can ask for a motion or you can just do it as chair.
Okay. Then we'll move on to S 2020-36 for Luther and Linda Sebastian for their variance to add an additional residence on the property, and we're going to postpone this application as well.
Yes. I mean, and in this case, they requested that the application be postponed so they could gather some additional information.
All righty. Then that moves us on to S 2020-41 for Haddock's Construction for a variance to reduce the front yard. Matt?
Yes. The project site for this application is at 211 Westwoods Drive.
Oh, excuse me, Matt, please, before I forget. I represent Paul in an unrelated civil suit. Got nothing to do with this. I've never spoke to the man about this. I know nothing about this. So I don't think there's any kind of conflict, but I wanted to put it on the record that I do represent him in an unrelated matter. Now, excuse me, go right ahead.
You're fine. Thank you. The application before you for that project site is to reduce the front yard setback from 50 feet to 20 feet. The property is zoned A1, so under normal circumstances, we would have 50-foot setbacks from all property lines. Looking at the site, it's, as the street name maybe implies, this lot is one of the 10-acre lots in the Westwoods development. It was developed as almost sort of a cluster development where there are small residential, almost urban residential style lots in the front of the neighborhood, and then a series of 10-acre lots in the back that sort of allows it to maintain a certain density level. As with a lot of properties in Scott County, or in northern Scott County in particular, there is some steep terrain to negotiate as you build. The image on the screen here was given to me by the applicant earlier this week, and the lot in question, as you can tell, is the left side lot, and they've indicated with a red dot there where the proposed house would be located for this application. So I guess, at the time that the staff report was written, I had not received a drawing showing where the proposed house would be. I also hadn't received any a statement of justification from the applicant. So I have received the drawing, obviously, now, and we've got it here on the screen that we're sharing. And I would say I recommend approval of the application as long as the board is satisfied with the justification that the applicant would typically need to provide, stating that there's unique circumstances on the lot that necessitate the variance. So I guess just to sum up, I think that it is appropriate to approve the variance request, just as long as the board feels the applicant satisfies meeting those items that I list in the staff report that state statute says we need to in order to justify granting variances.
Matt, can I ask you a question?
Yes.
The topo lines,
Yes.
what, obviously they indicate this thing is falling away quickly,
Yes.
but I can't tell how quickly. Because we've had several houses in this subdivision that do the same thing. They've all gotten rather dramatic setback variances. But I don't recall how quickly those lines indicate it's falling away.
You know, I mean, and that is a good point. I'm kind of hoping that the applicant will speak to that, because this drawing, or at least this part of the drawing that we have here, none of the topo lines are labeled, so I can't be
Okay.
sure if those are, if those are 2-foot contours or maybe they're 5. I'm not sure.
But I just for everybody's information, although several of you I'm sure have been here, but we've had, gosh, I don't know, 5 to 10 different houses in West Winds. Basically, the road takes the top of the hill. The front half of the house, is starting down the hill. The back door is well down the hill, and that's with a very large variance. So,
Yeah, I agree. I mean, this is not the first variance application we received for the larger lots in Westwoods, and I doubt that it would be the last.
yeah.
Is the applicant with us?
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm here. Yes.
All right. We're going to ask
Oh.
Charlie to swear you in before you speak to us, please.
Yes, Paul, if you'd raise your right hand, please. Do you swear or affirm the statement you're about to make to be the truth to the best of your information and belief?
Yes, I do.
Thank you.
All right. If you would talk to us about your application, sir, to explain to us. That would be-
Yes. Good evening, everyone. Matt summed up pretty well, very well. So the only thing I'd like to add is, yes, we had asked for other variances in the past, and the variance request was 50 feet or 30 feet from 50 feet. And that worked very well on other lots. With the exception, these 2 lots that I'm asking for a variance of the 20 feet, they are the most extreme lots in the neighborhood. They fall off almost immediately from the edge of the road. And what I'm trying to, and the utility easement for these lots and throughout all of Westwoods is 20 feet. So an additional 20 feet beyond the utility easement still presents a 40-foot long driveway. So there's ample room for cars to be well off the road, side of the road, and being parked in the driveway. And with the additional 10 feet, a little closer to the road, with these 2 homes being positioned on these lots are well away from the other homes. With a site, being in a line of sight, I really don't think with in how the terrain and the topo lies that one would think that these homes are out of place in the neighborhood, meaning that they're sitting right on top of the road. So what I'm trying to accomplish is to provide a good setting for the home, a driveway, and the house sitting up high to the road where it's not, going way down over the hill, which nobody, in my experience of building Mallard Point and around Mallard Point many years, nobody wants to drive down a hill to get to their house and garage and their front door. So this would eliminate that. It would provide a very nice setting for the house, and then also give them a nice wooded setting in the rear of their house, and the view. So that's what I'm asking, if you would allow this variance. I think it would lend itself to a very nice, livable home setting for both properties.
All right. Matt, have you heard anything from neighbors?
Not no.
Do we have questions from any members of the board?
No.
Yeah.
I'll entertain a motion.
I'll move that we approve application S 2020-41. Paul Haddock's requesting a variance to reduce the front yard setback from 50 to 20 at 211 Westwood Drive, subject to staff recommendations.
Sonia has a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All of those in favor to approve S 2020-41, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
S 2020-41 is approved.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. And then that brings us to S 2020-42. Is there, Matt's the same situation as 211?
Yeah, I mean, it is the lot right next door. I can go through the staff report again if you all would like, but I mean, it's basically the same thing, but literally one lot to the east. I'm recommending approval again, and if you all are favorable or in favor with that, I just recommend incorporating some of the comments that the applicant made about the topography as part of the approval of this application as well.
I've already put a large ditto on this one in the minutes, so.
Okay. Do we have any questions, or Mr. Haddix, do you want to say anything additional?
No, ma'am, it's basically the same lie of the land on with these two lots. They're very similar, and it just would make for such a much more enjoyable home setting, and it, much like what I explained with the other lot.
All right. Do we have any questions or discussion from the board?
Nope.
I'll entertain a motion for S 2020-42.
All right, Sonia, I'll take this one. I'll move that we approve 2020-42, taking into account the staff recommendations.
Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
All those in favor of approval of S 2020-42, please say aye.
Aye.
S 2020-42 is approved. And Mr. Haddix, I'm sure Matt will be in touch with you.
And thank you very much, everyone. Have a good evening.
Thank you. Thanks. Then that brings us to the 2021 meeting schedule and application deadlines.
Yes, and did everyone receive the email that had the PDF of the meeting schedule?
Yes.
Okay. So the good thing about the County Board of Adjustment is that we meet on the first Thursday of every month. So it's very rare that we have to adjust any of our meeting dates. So the meeting dates are all look like they're going to be fine to be held on the first Thursday of the month. In November, two of the deadlines are just going to be adjusted briefly for holidays. The November 12th has been adjusted to avoid Veterans Day, which our office is closed for. And then, as usual, the packets for the packets that would get sent out in November, that's been adjusted also for Thanksgiving. That happens every year. So outside of that, the normal pattern basically that we set the schedule by is we set the meeting date for the first Thursday of the month. The packets go out 1 week before that. The notices go out a week before that, and the application deadline is a week before that.
Okay.
So, I mean, if you all are good with the schedule, I think we need a vote to accept it. Correct, Charlie?
Yes.
I'll accept a motion to approve the 2021 meeting schedule and application deadlines as Matt has indicated verbally and on the email.
I'll make the motion that we approve the 2021 meeting schedule.
And a second?
Oh, why not? Oh, I'll second it.
Tag.
This is the Sonia and Darren show. All those in favor of the 2021 meeting schedule, please say aye.
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 Aye. And I do need to tell you, there may be a chance that I will not be at the January meeting. I don't know. But with Zoom, I might be able to make it. So we'll just see.
All right.
That's great. There's Zoom everywhere.
I'll say, all right, Janet. we-
Yes.
I've heard that before.
Yeah, me too.
All righty then. You all have a wonderful Christmas and holiday.
All right.
You all
You too.
too.
Merry Christmas.
The December meeting is
everybody.
adjourned.